Perfect. Okay, so we're recording. So tonight is Team 360's call, and we wanted to have me talk about how committing to a program can give your business a quick kickstart. And this, let's switch this here. This is something that I've done a couple programs, but I've also dabbled here and there, and I've noticed the biggest difference in between my business when I'm committing to programs and when I am just sort of floundering and not really sharing. So I actually do have a visual, which most people are on here on phones, so that's okay because we're going to record it. So I'm going to actually share my screen with you guys so that you guys can see this presentation. Christina, can you see that? Can you guess? Okay. There we go. Right. Okay. I don't know that I really want it all that full screen because then I can't see anyone. Let's see. Okay. So like I said, what I wanted to talk about was committing to a program. So what programs have I done? I have done 21 Day Fix, I've done Insanity Max 30, and I've done Core to Force. Every time I have started a program like that and done it from start to finish with no breaks, following the calendar, I've noticed a rise in my business. And then when I start to sort of fall off, not follow my nutrition, not post about things like that, then naturally I see my business go back down. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this program. I mean, or committing to a program. You hear it so much from Carl, from everyone, talk about how the major focus this past year has been committing to a program and why that makes such a big difference. But I guess you can't really experience it until you do it for yourself. So, I know that with Beachbody On Demand, having the all access pass, especially with new challengers coming in, it's been really, really tempting for people to just dabble in the programs. But it's important to know what committing to a program can do for your business. And like I said, every single time that I've committed to these, whether it be because I'm more committed in general to my workouts, to my vital behaviors, I see a huge rise in my business, and it shows in my income, in my numbers, in how many people I am helping, how many people join my challenge group. It's all connected. So there are a couple aspects of committing to a program when you're a coach. I mean, obviously you as a coach still want to focus on your personal journey and, making sure that you're doing your workouts and you're drinking your Shakeology, but it's more important than just that because you are a coach. And so it's your responsibility to share that with others and make sure that if they are having the same struggles that you were having, that you bring them in and show them what it could do. So I promise, I just want to preface, this is not meant to be vain. I'm just choosing posts that I've done that I'm going to show you guys that have really gotten a lot of traction and have been the ones that I've showed. So what I want to say is share your transformation. So I know that it's really, really scary. I hate taking those before and after pictures because most of the time you're your worst critic. You're thinking when you're taking the picture or having someone else take the picture that, you're like, how do I stand to make myself look the best? But realistically, every time that I've taken these pictures, I've convinced myself that I have no progress. I don't know why I'm taking this. I had pizza. Oh, I did this. I'm not even going to post these. And then I take them and I look at them and I'm like, what? That's crazy. The difference between the two. And so that is what is so important to share with people because literally the difference between these two pictures, I didn't do anything. I maybe went on 2 runs, maybe 3, between these pictures, and it was all Beachbody programs. And I wasn't even committed fully to Beachbody programs this whole time. I was doing them, but I wasn't, all in nutrition, all in everything because I was going through ups and downs. And so the biggest thing to remember is that no one is going to know that these programs work if you don't show them. They can watch infomercials, they can do whatever that, they can see the stock photos that you are allowed to post, but that's not going to make an impact. No one cares about Joe and Sally that won $100,000 because they lost 100 pounds. They care about you because they know you, and they know what you're doing as a coach is, sharing this. And so they're going to be watching, what those results are. And not to be negative, but people are going to also be waiting for you to fail too. I mean, knowing themselves that they have gone through those ups and downs, they're waiting for you to have that hiccup and not succeed. So by sharing the good, the bad, the transformation, where you started, and then not just this, where it's like good, bad and then good. It's important too to share those days when you're having a rough day, or like a comparison photo side by side. I'm actually planning on doing one of these. And it's going to kind of suck for me, but it's realistic. So doing one, it's like, hey, 2 weeks ago I had like a really good abs, and then life happened a little bit, and then now I'm just a little bit softer, because that's how it goes. You want people to know that you're realistic, that this is a realistic lifestyle change, and that it works. So be brave and share your transformation, and always share your results. Post your results. So I'm really clear in these pictures, hey, this is the program that I'm doing, results. You do sort of have to spell things out for people, because if you're just posting pictures and not sort of explaining what you're doing, people will be happy to cheer you on, but they might not know that they can join you. And so there are a couple things that go into posting, and this is where I'm going to get into the rest of this call. It's sort of weaved into like social media tips and things that I've learned. And I would love to, at the end, if there's enough people on here, get questions, and share some things with you guys if you have questions. So first of all, when you're posting your results, like I said, make sure that you're calling out, maybe in the photo if you can, if you have like Word Swag or, A Beautiful Mess, or one of those apps that allows you to add the words to these, put that right on there, because people usually will just, especially with Instagram, they just scroll through, and rarely do they read the descriptions unless something in the photo stops them. And so if they're just scrolling and they see like 21-day fix results, and they're like, hold up, like, wait a minute, I've heard of that. Like, whoa, this girl did that with 21-day fix in 21 days. And then they're probably going to read. Or it's like Insanity Max 30, like round 1, like, wait a minute, I've heard about this. Isn't this 2 rounds? Round 1, there's more to go, and she already has these results. So you see what I mean? It's kind of like a hook a little bit. So you put that on there, and then they know what it is that you're posting about. And it's not just like, look at me, I'm so strong, which is sometimes what people think if you're posting things like this, because not everyone is a coach. And so people are just going to think that it's, sometimes people think it's a little bit narcissistic and things like that. So you just sort of have to work around it and be strategic. And then also, you have to watch when you post these. These are really powerful posts. These are nerve-wracking posts. So don't waste them on a Wednesday at, 11:30 a.m. Wait to post these things. And this is going to depend on your audience and when they get on. Me, personally, I'm a working mom, and I, have most of my traction at night. I was just kind of explaining this to my boyfriend that, even Mondays are hard for me because I'm off work, but not everybody's off on Mondays. Most people have to go to work. And so I have to be careful about sharing, because even though I'm home and I'm so excited to share these things, I've made the mistake, and I do it all the time. I have this awesome, beautiful post that I've thought through, and I posted at like 1:00 on a Monday, and I get nothing. And so you just sort of have to think things through, and sometimes you can pre-plan them out and then wait. So when you're posting these transformations, Tuesdays are a great day. I love posting Transformation Tuesdays, but your newsfeed's going to be full of transformations. And so sometimes that's easy when you're, like, oh, it's Tuesday, I'm going to post this. But do it on a day when not everyone is going to be seeing these before and afters. Do it on like a Thursday, or, that's hard because it's Throwback Thursday. Anyway, do it on a day that isn't Tuesday sometimes, just so that you can get a little bit of traction, and do it at the time when your audience is on. So like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, when working parents are home and they've gotten dinner out of the way, the kids are in bed, then they're going to start scrolling. And then they're going to see this. And that might be after they feel crappy after a day at work and they're not working out, So be strategic at your posting times and keep in mind what your audience is. Um, and like I said, keep in mind what their day looks like. If you're somebody who works night shift and you know that a lot of your audience is on the same shift as you, then yours is going to look quite a bit different than mine. If you're a stay-at-home mom, things are okay to post during the day because a lot of your market is going to be home, and so if you're posting things that pertain to being a stay-at-home mom, that's okay to post during the day. Me, as your audience, I won't see that because I'm at work. So it just depends on who your audience is. When you're posting these things, make sure that your images, I'm going to go to the next slide. Make sure that your images are attractive. Make sure that, and these are things, guys, that I have learned from other team calls. There's part of our upline. I have no idea if she's even on our team. It's way up there. She did an Instagram training and I learned so much from her. And since then, it's gone up and up as I'm following those tips. So a couple of these tips are from that I really wanted to share just in case some of you didn't catch that. So make sure that you're posting attractive images. Use good lighting in front of the window. It makes a huge difference if you take a picture, with the window behind you or the window in front of you. So use good lighting. My favorite app is Google Snapseed. And I really, really like the bright filter on there. I know like Brad Bizjack, for instance, he uses the drama. And like Jamie Fitzpatrick uses the drama. Carly showed me this app and I love it. And it just gives your pictures like a little bit extra. And it's not an obvious Instagram filter either, which I think is important because, everybody uses the same filters over and over again. And so these filters are just sort of making you stand out. So use good lighting, use the same filter. You want your page. And I sort of put this snapshot up here so that you guys could see that all of the photos sort of have, and if you're on a phone, make sure that you go back and watch this replay because I promise I won't make this a long call and there's not very many slides to look through, but it's really helpful to see these things that I'm talking about. So like I said, everything sort of has the same feel and look to it. And, there are no pictures that are like blatantly filtered and then some that are and things like that. So it's all just really uniform. And I try to make it as bright and attractive as I can so that if somebody is scrolling their newsfeed and they click on my page and they look at it, this is what they're going to see. And does it match up with what I say that I'm doing? It has the workouts, it has my family, it has my daughter, food, coffee, things like that. So these are my brand. This is really important. So this snapshot right here, I just took this before the call. This is my brand. And I have to make sure that my brand shows on this social media. And that's going to include those transformation photos. So when I'm committing to a program, this is how it all ties together. When I'm committing to a program, I'm going to be on social media posting these quality things. So I am going to be more apt to post my post-workout because I'm doing my workout because I'm following that program. I'm going to be posting my recipes because I'm making a healthy dinner or lunch or breakfast because I'm following my program. Same with Shakeology. And same with inspirational, motivational things. I'm just going to be in a better place, in a better mood because I'm following this program. So when you when you commit to those programs, it all just sort of flows down. You have structure, then you have things to post about, it becomes natural. And I think that's why when you do start a program, it kickstarts your business in such a huge way. And so one thing that I want to suggest is that as you're going through your program, as you're going through your week and your month, take a snapshot like I did here of your Instagram, for instance. Instagram is just easy because, it's all photos, whereas Facebook, it's hard to see them all in a row like this, but take a quick snapshot and see what it is that you're looking at. If you were just somebody who was looking for somebody to follow, would you follow you? Or would you just say like, this is just a run-of-the-mill profile? Would you choose yourself as a coach? If you were looking for a Beachbody coach, Lord knows there's a lot of us. So, would you choose yourself just based on this one snapshot? So that's something that really was a game changer for me. And it sort of made me realize that I wasn't talking about these programs. You can post attractive pictures all the time, but you have to talk about what you're doing. And doing a program is just the simplest beeline way to do that. And so I have a couple tips, and Christina, this is going to look really similar to you because I just posted this in our Coach Basics yesterday, but it got me thinking. So, as we go through this, and it's, social media tips, this is probably one of the bigger questions that new and old coaches alike have, as far as questions go, like what to post and what time of day to post and things like that. So again, I just want to say that these tips are coming from, you have to commit to a program. If you're not doing a program, these might be tough, because you're going to have to make them up. But if you're doing a program, then you're going to find that these things are easy. So these are some suggestions that I gave to our Coach Basics group that's running right now. And that includes, it's going to seem familiar because it's your vital behaviors. So post about your workout. And I had some things that I wanted to read with these. So your workout, like I told the girls, what obstacles did you face? This is not just you posting, this is my workout selfie, like, jink, with a sweaty selfie. You need to relate to them. First of all, they need to know what program you're doing. So when you commit to a program, you should be able to look at your profile and maybe click on a couple things. I want to know what program you're doing and how long you've been doing it, what day you're on. So like if you look at my page, you would know that I'm doing Core de Force and that I'm in my 3rd week and that I had a crappy week last week because I talk about these things. So you need to know what program you're committed to, and you need to make sure that you're sharing that with people so that they can support you. Ask for their support. Do that through your workout post, and that whether that's your first post of the day or the last post of the day, let people know what obstacles you faced and how did you overcome. It was a long day at work, but it was only 30 minutes. So I came home, I drank my Energize, I got it done. Sometimes it's hard after a long day at work. I know that I don't want to do that, but I get it done because it's going to make it so that I feel better and I won't always be so tired like this. Something like that can relate to your audience. And again, this is for my target market. And so you're going to need to think about your target market and think about what value did that workout just add to your day? Why did that help you? So that's a great way to post about your workout other than just a sweaty selfie. And that also gets across to them what program you're doing and how it's working for you. Along the same lines, Shakeology, like how you post about Shakeology. I just want to preface this by saying I am by no means an expert. I have done those posts where, like, now that I've been coaching for over a year, my memories are starting to come up and I'm like, oh God, like some of them are super embarrassing because, you don't know what you're doing. So this is something that I wanted to share because it's so important to know in the beginning. And if you get told in the beginning, then you won't make those mistakes, hopefully. So Shakeology, make sure that when you're posting that, what value did that add to your day? Not just, this is me drinking my Shakeology out of my cup, but what value did that add to your day? Like I did something today about, and this was genuine. We literally had no food in our house, like none. And I was so hungry and I made some eggs and stuff for breakfast, but I didn't want to completely blow my carbs for the day. And so I was like, oh my God, I have Shakeology. I'm so happy. And so I posted about that, like, hey, this is a picture of my shake, but also just so you know, like I hate grocery shopping and I'm avoiding it and I'm waiting until the last possible second. But luckily I have this in our house and I'm able to make it. And not only is it filling, it's good. It gives me what I need. It's not just me grabbing a bag of potato chips. This is really convenient for me to have. So that is a way that Shakeology 100% added value to my day today because I was so hungry and I did not want to go to the store no matter how hungry I was. We went grocery shopping, by the way, or I did. So make sure that you're keeping that in mind. And if you're consistently drinking that and posting about those benefits while you're doing your program in your 30 days, you're going to not only get results, but then you're going to be able to share that with people and you're going to have legitimate reasons to come back to their objections. That's really important because when you commit to a program, you are able to come back to people's objections because you've run into these things and you have the feel, felt, found. I felt the same way, or, I know how you feel. I found that, this is why it helped me, yada, yada. Personal development. This is something that I know that doesn't necessarily come along with a program, but it's really important. And I am trying so hard to break it into my challenge groups. Just so that people know the value of it. You don't even necessarily have to be like, this is a picture of my, personal development book that I'm reading, but you just want to share a situation in your day that made it apparent to you that you've grown through your journey. And then, like I said, if you've just started, what have these very few small changes done for you? So this could relate to a program, not necessarily a workout program or something like that. We call them really non-scale victories a lot of times, sort of Beachbody jargon though, so be careful with that. But, you can say, I had a huge non-scale victory today. I got to work and I was running late and I ran up the stairs as fast as I could. And I realized at the top, like, I'm not out of breath. Or like I had this situation at work where someone was mean to me and I realized that, it didn't really affect me the way that it used to. And I know that that's because I've been working so hard on myself. Thank goodness for this journey that I started, so that's a good way to bring it around too, to where you're just posting about your everyday life. You're not being salesy. You are not doing anything in that post to say like, but you need to join my challenge group, or you need to do this, you need to buy Shakeology. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about you sharing what this journey has done for you already. And you're just sort of breadcrumbing this. And as you're posting your things about your program and making it apparent, and then you're sharing these things, the reasons that you're growing, like I said, it's all just kind of connecting together. Recipes are a huge thing to post. And this is another thing where I know for a fact that I can look through my social media and I can tell when my nutrition is off. And you know where? It's because it's when I'm not posting. Because, if you decide to have pizza for dinner or, and you're not willing to own it, which is completely legitimate, that's fine. I do it too. Or if you stop at the McDonald's drive-thru and you just give in, and you're not going to post that most likely. I mean, I know that there's that sort of level of shame and you want to be transparent on your journey, but you don't want to be like, yeah, I'm just getting down on this Big Mac in the parking lot, so you have to sort of think about that too. When you're committed to a program and you're committed to the nutrition, posting recipes is going to be easy. You're just going to post your dinner. So think about that sometimes, as you're on your program. Not only is committing to your program going to make you healthier, but it's going to be easy to post throughout your day because you're just going to be sharing what you are doing at home. And don't feel bad if you do put down that Big Mac in the parking lot. Everybody does it. That's okay. But, just make sure that that's not a regular thing. And if it is, then maybe it is time to commit to a program. And maybe that's where you're seeing that shortcoming in your business. And then finally, I've talked about this on past calls. This is a huge thing. You need to share your reason for getting healthy. And if you're doing a program, you more than likely know what your why is because you committed to this program. You chose this program. You sat down, looked through the thousands of workouts that we have available, and you picked this one. Did it have to do with how short it was? Did you pick 21 Day Fix because it's only 30 minutes because you have kids and you need to be done and you don't have time? Then guess what your why most likely is? Your kids, so things will always come full circle, and people need to know why you're doing this. Like, why are you working out? Like, okay, so maybe it's just to go on a cruise, that you get to go on in a year. So make sure that you share that. Like, hey, I'm getting healthy so that I can go on this cruise and have fun and feel confident, because more than likely it's about more than just looking good in a bathing suit. It's about feeling good. And, so there's just so much. Like, I could go on forever, but that's why you want to make sure that you're sharing your why. And I hope that this all makes sense, that it's all coming down to how committing to a program, following one, can make your business grow. So just to sort of show you guys in action, I am someone who I'm pretty transparent. I will let you guys know when I've had ups and downs in my businesses. And I was kind of struggling with finding my place with coaching, and I still liked it, but I wasn't as fully committed as I was in the beginning. I was all in at the beginning. And then I just sort of stepped back the last couple months, and I wasn't loving it. Like I was loving it, but I didn't have that same fuel. I didn't have that same passion. I didn't have any of it. And just recently I decided I was doing Insanity Max 30. I was posting about it, but not consistently. I was missing workouts. So I decided to do the 21 Day Fix again. And I haven't done the 21 Day Fix since literally, like, I just came home from the hospital. I was doing a couple workouts after having my baby. And then once I got the clear at 5 or 6 weeks, that's when I did 21 Day Fix. So it'd been like a year. I didn't have any results on my page about 21 Day Fix. I had nothing. And yet I had so many people who I wanted to do this program because I thought it would be perfect for them. And I just couldn't figure out what roadblock I was hitting with talking to people. And I sort of figured out that I think it's that I just wasn't really walking the walk. I was definitely talking the talk, but I wasn't proving to people that this is something that works and that this is something that I myself have done. Just because I say that I've done it doesn't mean anything, to people in private messaging. It has to be out there. So I did the 21-day fix. I got awesome results. Like, I blew myself away. I was stoked about it. And I actually committed to it really, really tightly. And I had a lot of fun with it. And I just sort of got that fire back underneath me. And that's why I wanted to talk about this on the call, because it's so fresh. And I know that after I did that program, I was like, whoa, I can't believe that I just did this. Like, could my challengers do this? Like, it's so silly how after a year in the business, even after a month in the business, if you don't see what you want to see, you can start to get down on yourself and just forgetting what business we're in. And that's, getting healthy and inspiring others to do the same. So when I sort of got back to the core of that and I committed to that 21-day fix, it got me going again. And now I believe in my challengers more. If they tell me that they can't do it, I can say like, you know what? I know, I just went through that. I can do it. So it made a huge difference in my business. It made a big difference in my numbers. I was able to actually, get myself back to SC10 again. I was able to work my boyfriend's account. It was a big game changer for me. So if you have been struggling whatsoever, or even not struggling, and you're just looking to continue doing well, committing to a program is where it's at. And it seems really simple, but make sure, that you do that. So I know that there's only a couple people on here, but I just wanted to, I hate asking for questions, because then it's just like crickets and you're like, anyone? So does anyone have any questions at all? Let me see if I can I'm on a Mac and I'm not used to using a Mac anymore. I'm not going to sit here for too long and be awkward about it, but thanks, Kelly. Awesome. I am recording this, like I said, because I know that Monday nights are hard. It's really hard for me to get on the team call a lot of times. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time, especially if you have kids and, busy lives. So I appreciate you coming. So I'm going to go ahead and post this recording so that those of you listening via phone can look at the slides. They're not mind-blowing or anything like that, but they do sort of bring full circle of what I'm talking about so that you guys can see the social media content that I'm showing you guys. And so I figured I would keep it short tonight. I really appreciate you guys coming on. If you have any questions at all after this call, after you watch the replay, you can just tag me in 360 and let me know. But other than that, I think I'm going to go. My daughter's in bed, so I'm going to go drink some wine and have a good night, if I could figure out how to do this. Okay, perfect. You guys have a good night. Bye.